Hi, this is Sean Kavanaugh, and I'm going to be doing a quick video about the death penalty. This is a very polarizing topic in America, but in this video, I'm going to be taking the side of abolishing the death penalty. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to take a couple of the stances taken by people who are for the death penalty, and I'm going to point out the flaws in them and to kind of counteract what they say. Now, one of the largest arguments for the death penalty is that it deters crime. Now, I will eschew the normal killing people who kill people because killing people is wrong argument for this, and look at a statistic standpoint. And so first, you need to look at murders and notice that murder most often is a passionate crime, and that the people who murder, usually, almost always, are not thinking of the death penalty. They're not thinking of the consequences other than that they want this person dead. And then, second, you have to look at the research that's been done. Studies in Oklahoma and California show that murder rates go up with the death penalty. Also, in Canada, ever since they abolished the death penalty, their murder rates have gone down. Both of these things just kind of show the flawed argument that is deterrence. Another argument for the death penalty is that it is cheaper to kill someone to execute them than to keep them in jail for life. So the first thing I'd ask, is that really a moral stance to have? Are we really saying that it's good to kill people to save money? Even if those people are murderers, is it still a moral thing to do to kill them to save us money? But also, even if that weren't an issue, the fact of the matter is it isn't cheaper. It costs $1 million on average, usually. It's not really a solid fact, it wavers a lot, but around $1 million to keep someone in prison for life. It costs $5 million to prosecute someone for the death penalty, including appeals and all those other associated costs. It's $5 million. That's $4 million more dollars for each death penalty, as opposed to keeping them for prison in life. The final argument, which I'm going to be discussing, is a little bit more of a philosophical argument, a little bit less based on solid fact, but it is the classic eye for an eye, where they're saying that the proper punishment for killing someone is to kill them themselves, that's just how it works. So, I just want to take a look at this and think, is that really a governing philosophy in our government? Do we drunk drive into people who drive drunk? Do we rob those who rob? And I think it's really important to remember the famous words, an eye for an eye leaves the whole world blind. But one might say, wouldn't that give closure to the victims' families? Wouldn't that make sure that they feel good about all that's happened and relieve some of the burden? But what we are finding is that it really doesn't, and that many families choose not to administer the death penalty because they feel like it's not the right thing to do, or they don't want to have to put up with the appeals process. They just want the whole thing to be over with. And as a society, we need to be the voice of reason. We need to be the ones to say that the killing should end after the murder, that we don't want to create more grieving families. So, I hope that I've at least given you some food for thought, and I don't mean to necessarily change your opinion to mine immediately, but hopefully after you watch this video, you might do some soul searching and maybe search for information that you might not have otherwise had and decide what you think about this whole situation and get a full three-dimensional view on everything we've discussed. So I would like to thank you for watching and hope that you can have some food for thought.